Good morning, everybody. So today I wanted to do sort of a teaching Thursday. It's a little bit different. There's some things that I've learned in the very, very recent past that I wanted to share with you. And so I sort of came up with like these 3 tips that I could give you all for getting the life you want. Throughout the week, I've been listening to this book. It was a recommendation by somebody I know. The book is called Life and Air, and it's by Steve Cook and Sean McCloskey. I highly recommend it. It definitely got me thinking on a different way. But as I went through that and some additional conversations that I've had with friends throughout the week, I learned some things, and I've begun to apply some of those things in the recent past, and I wanted to share them with you. So what are the 3 tips to get the life that you really, really want? So first of all, before I give those to you, I want to tell you that the life you want is something that you can certainly have. I know that there's a certain thing that you really, really want, and the truth is that takes planning, right? And so in order to get that life, you have to know what it is that you actually want. And I encourage you to sit down, work with your spouse, work with whoever, or maybe pick a good friend, somebody in your life that can help guide you through this process even of picking out and choosing the life that you want. And so when you discover what that is, these are sort of the 3 tips that you can follow to get there. And so the first one is quit, right? So quit doing anything that doesn't align with your purpose or your dream or your calling or the life that you want. Right? So many times we spend a lot of time working on things that really have nothing to do with what we truly want in our lives. Now, does that mean that you should give up everything that involves rest, everything that involves... No, of course not. There are a lot of great things in our lives, but I do want to share this with you. There's this friend of mine that taught me through picking the most important things, right? And among some of those most important things in my life are family, my calling, seeking God, right? Some of those things can't go away. And so when I think about my calling, right, it's really to inspire and help people discover purpose in their lives. There are a lot of things that I can do to go along with that. But one thing I'm not going to give up is coaching baseball for my sons, right? When it comes down to it, I'm always going to choose that over whatever it is that I could be doing to work on a business or anything else in my life. So I'm not saying we should give up those things. But what I am saying is if you're at night, if you're in the evening and you're sitting there watching TV when you know that there's something else that you'd really should be doing or that would actually align with your purpose, keep in mind that that is time traded. Okay, so you've got to make those tough choices to actually quit making excuses and quit doing things that don't align with your purpose. Make the tough choices to actually step into your calling and do the things that you truly love to do. The next thing I want to talk about is be. I want you to be authentic, not perfect. All right. So often we see videos, we compare ourselves to people online, we go to training classes, we go to work, and all throughout our lives we're educated on being a certain way, delivering a certain way. Here's an example. For at least 2 years now, I have struggled with doing these videos. I've wanted to do these videos just like this for 2 years, and I've done a few here and there, but I have not been able to do them regularly like I'm now trying to do today. And the reason for that is I was always taught about delivery, and my focus was all on delivery. How perfect could I deliver that message? How well could I articulate my words? What are people going to think when I say it? Are they going to like when I say it? At some point, you just have to say, I don't care about any of that. It's not really so much about the perfection of the delivery as it is about you being yourself, and in doing so, you will attract the people that you're meant to attract. And so I want you to focus on being authentic with whatever it is that you do, right? And not so much about perfection and getting it exactly right. And then on top of that, you'll find that as time goes on, you're going to get better at whatever it is that you're doing, and it won't be such a difficult thing to be frantically searching, how can I make this better, right? And so practice, right? Keep practicing, keep diving into your craft, start. Don't allow yourself to be hung up by this lack of perfection that we all have. We're never going to be there. And so the last word that I had to kind of help you remember, and it's the third tip for getting the life you want, is trade, right? And so what I'm saying is trade back the lifestyle that you have for the life that you really want. And this one here is going to be probably the most difficult one for most of us, because we all have a certain lifestyle that we love to live. But understand that when you choose a lifestyle, right, and I'll be specific with you, when you choose a house that you like to live in, when you choose a neighborhood that you like to live in, when you choose a car that you like to drive, when you choose certain levels of vacations and extra gadgets and toys and things for your house, or extra shoes, clothing, all of these things have a trade-off. And so when you choose to purchase those things and go after those things, you are literally trading pieces of the life that you may desire for those things. And the reason that is because if let's say I go buy a $500,000 house, I'm going to have to make the money to afford that kind of house. And in order to get the money to afford that kind of house, I'm going to have to get the job that allows me to make that kind of money. And that job is probably going to take a significant amount of time to make that kind of money. So in order to do that, we're going to trade off things that we really, really want in our future so that we can spend the time making the money to have the things that we want. And so you've really got to know what it is that you actually want so that you can begin to make the choices in your life, and significantly not to trade off for things that are less important, but to actually make the trade-off for the things that are most important. If you say that family is most important, for instance, then what are you doing in your life to free up your time so that you can have more time with your family? Right? If you actually have a calling and a dream or something you want to accomplish in your life, what are you doing to make trade-offs that are going to enable you to have more time for things like that? So these are tough things, but in summary, we'll say it again. Quit doing things that don't align with your purpose, your calling, and the life that you want. I want you to be authentic and not perfect. And finally, trade back the life that you want for the lifestyle that you currently have. This is all going to take time, folks. None of this happens overnight, but I'm telling you, this has been a journey for me for several years. I've struggled with a lot of these things, and I truly believe, and I'm doing it as we speak, as we continue to pursue that dream, pursue that life and that calling we want, and make those tough choices, I truly believe that in years from now, we are all going to have a chance to experience it. So I want you all to have a blessed day. Remember, it's going to work out. Don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed by the many things in life that keep us from getting where we want. There's a purpose and there's a calling, and I believe in you, and I believe that you can have that life. So y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.